Alex Hormozi broke the world record of the most non-fiction books sold to date, which made around 81 million from the day's launch. Now, in this video, we're going to go over the exact deep dive of how he was able to do this and what actually it took to pull this off and make this happen. So welcome to this video, guys. This is exactly how Alex Hormozi generated around 80 million in a single day through the launch of his $100 million money models kind of model here. Now I've got the green color to match his branding. Now in this video, we're gonna dive into together exactly how the legend Alex Hormozi was able to pull this off, okay? So let's just jump into the first thing. The first thing that obviously led up to this launch is he ran a lot of ads. Now he ran ads that were most likely to a cold audience, and he ran ads that were retargeting. Now, if you're new to kind of advertising, what this means is he ran ads specifically to people that maybe didn't even know who he was, that just found out about Alex Hormozi and led them to an opt-in page to collect their emails, okay? Now, on this opt-in page, there was obviously, a promise, an offer that they can attend this free launch, this free live event, which we'll get into in a second. But the people that maybe watched the ad, let's say 50% through, or that went on the opt-in page but didn't give their email, that collected data in terms of a pixel, and he then sent more ads to the audience that was showing that interest. So that's why if you're interested in business, info products, all of that cool stuff, just online business in general, not even online business, you probably got slammed with all of his ads. And they were very intriguing. They were very interesting. He had these green kind of green screen looking guys holding up the book, and he had bananas in them, and it was just a crazy time, right? And he had a decent amount of time, a decent amount of run rate before this book where he was advertising. Now, this is kind of where the breadwinner is for this whole launch. He didn't just run one live event for 7 hours. He ran two, which was basically a way for him to collect all the cash that wasn't collected on the first one on that second one. Now, in this 7-hour kind of training that he did live on YouTube, he obviously gave you a ton of value, and he broke down pretty much all the concepts of the book. Now, because he followed the 7-11-4 rule, which I'll write down here, 7-11-4 rule, which means, according to Google, it takes 7 hours of content from 11 different touch points over 4 locations to make a sale. Now he's all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. So that's kind of the 4 locations, email, everywhere. 11 different touch points, right? He sent you tons of ads, retargeting ads to sign up for the launch. And then 7 hours of content. Even if you never watched Alex Hormozi in the past, even if you were a complete stranger, you could watch these 7 hours of content and be sold by the end of it. And that's why it was so powerful. And not only did he do it once, he did it a second time the next day, kind of unannounced, because he noticed, maybe there's a few tens of millions of dollars just sitting there, and if I do this again, I can collect more. So that's why he did it again. So this was the breadwinner, and this just for you guys to take home. If you are selling I help people run their coaching and consulting offers online. If you're running a personal brand, if you're running a coaching offer, even if you're an agency, some high-ticket service-based business, you need to leverage this as well. You need to leverage that 7 hours of content. If people don't see 7 hours of your content, there's no way they're going to be able to trust you and pay you thousands of dollars, which is what he did, by the way. And this is the crucial thing about this strategy. So this is the thing. Many people think, oh, he sold like $30 books and made $81 million. It's like, no, that's not how he did it. How he did it was he had kind of a donate 200 books offer, which was at a $6,000 price point. So if you go to his page right now on his website, you see the standard one hardback $30, and then you see the all-exclusive bonus offer which obviously he's leveraging like the $100 million offers, the money models thing, which we'll get into a second. But he's got all these 12 playbooks, which are these physical copies of these playbooks that he's got right here. He's got a visual implementation workshop. He's got lifetime access to $100 million AI, which is kind of like a chatbot, and one hard copy of the book and 200 physical copies that people could send to people, right? So they could send a code to someone and they could get the book for free sent to their house. They just have to cover shipping. And this $6,000 offer, the funny thing about it, it was targeted for businesses. And this is the genius thing about this, right? If you're a business owner, right, and you're running any type of business, mainly online though, what business owners would do is they would leverage Alex Hormozi as an authority in their marketing by buying this offer. So they would buy this $6,000 offer and tell people, hey, if you DM me this keyword, if maybe all my clients have the $100 million models book, then reach out to me. So basically, these entrepreneurs would almost flex buying this offer. I completely messed up that word, whatever. Entrepreneurs would buy this 6K offer to flex on their social media, and they would use it in a way where they would say, hey, DM me this keyword, DM me the word, DM me the word 100 million, and I'll send over one of the 200 free copies over to you. And they would leverage that to start more conversations and perhaps make more money, but also, most importantly, build up their authority. Because Alex Hormozi is pretty much the biggest authority in the space right now. And if you buy that 6K offer, it shows that you've got authority, and it shows that you are generous by giving away these free copies. And that was a thing that he leveraged in this offer. Because there's not any author pretty much ever that had an offer where they sell 200 books at once. Like, no one does that. But with him, it works because he's an authority within his space, and people don't see this as a expense, but rather an investment. Because they know if I pay 6K, leverage that in my marketing, people see me as the authority, people see me as the man, people DM me to get this free copy. It almost, like, not gonna lie, if you've got a decent sized audience, buying the 6K offer and having 200 free books, you probably will make more money from buying this offer, which is insane. So, exactly. So this 6K price point, this is what made the majority of the money. And he didn't just sell the book. He framed it as a donate 200 books, right? It was like, oh, it's for the better of the earth. You're doing it for people that, you're a good person if you buy this. And like, I'm not going to go over this again, but obviously you get the money models book, you get the 200 gifts, you get the playbooks, you get the early access to the course and audiobook, a virtual implementation of the workshop, and an AI. By the way, this course and audiobook, I'm pretty sure it's free. I'm pretty sure on School, which is the platform that Alex Hormozi and Sam Ovens are collaborating on, you can get the course for free. I don't know exactly what the audiobook is, but I'm sure you can get that too. So a lot of this stuff is free as well, but people still buy this, which is crazy. So this offer clearly was pictured in a way where, okay, you're generous if you buy this, right? Because you can give the books to other people. I'm not going to go over the whole flywheel approach, but he posted so much social media content around this book, around this launch, which of course added to the sales. And then beyond that, from my research, there was another high ticket upsell, which is the acquisition scale advisory, which was 18K, which was like, following the initial purchase, he offered an upsell, which was 800 more books, plus 6 months of coaching and virtual intensives priced at $3,000 a month for 6 months total. So if people bought this and this, they would be paying, what is that, $24,000 for 1,000 books, private mentoring and all. Like, this is insane. This is why he broke the the Guinness World Record is because he was selling packages of 1,000 books. Like, who does that? And of course, I'm sure the coaching that he was giving was extremely helpful for people that bought it. So that's awesome. And that's why I'm such a big fan of selling online coaching and building a personal brand, is because it's extremely profitable, right? If you want to really look at this whole kind of thing, this whole system, he's selling a coaching offer. He's selling a one-on-one or like with his team coaching offer. That's what he's doing. He's not necessarily selling the books. He's selling the coaching. He wants to get in contact with businesses that he can scale for his holding firm, acquisition.com, right? So we went over this. We went over why people bought this. Obviously, record sales day, Guinness World Record, 2.7 million copies he sold in 24 hours at a base price of $29.99, but the actual revenue came mostly from the bundle offers. So he sold 2 million copies, but people were buying like the $1,000 book offers. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, basically what I'm trying to say is 2.7 million people didn't buy this, but that's how many copies were actually sold, right? Which is crazy. And this came mostly from the bundled offers. 82 million revenue, biggest nonfiction sale to date. And this is why the launch worked so freaking well, you know? Another thing that he did in his live training that was also really powerful is that he had this meta kind of positioning of the book, which gave him a lot of proof and a lot of kind of authority, because what he said is when he created $100 million offers, he had proof from, selling 2 of his companies for $46 million. When he created $100 million leads, he proved through his social media growth of building an audience to like 13 million followers that worked. And with this $100 million money models, the launch itself was the proof, which was insane. Because if someone launches a book and breaks the world record and makes 80 million in a day, surely that money models book works, right? And that was the crazy thing that brought him so much authority, was like, duh, it's working right now, right? Because he had, it was working right at that second through the launch and all the people that were on the launch. So obviously, after he did this first launch of YouTube, he said like, hey, I broke the record very casually. Oh, I broke the record on the book launch, but I'm doing the whole thing again, which is what we see here. And he collected even more cash on that second day. But let's actually get to some tactical things that you guys can leverage to understand how you guys can grow your business, okay? Psychological levers and marketing strategies that he used in order to make this an extreme success. So he had extreme reciprocity and generosity, right? He framed the purchase as a donation with kind of value back incentives. So obviously, like I mentioned, when people bought that $6,000 offer, they were getting value themselves because they can leverage that in their own marketing. And obviously there was some urgency. He ended the offer on Monday, August 19th, with kind of like the one-time offer forever messaging. You guys are probably familiar with that. Social status and gamification. Affiliate buyers were promoted. They launched publicly via leaderboards and giveaways, turning buyers into de facto promoters, right? So the people that were buying this stuff turned into marketers that would further promote the launch. Perceived over delivery, sheer value, 12 playbooks, AI workshop, physical book, plus the purchase almost made it risk-free because due to the 200 books that they got, they could send that out and use that as marketing to again attract more trust and ultimately get more clients. So obviously there was the bundle. Buyers received high-value items and altruism appeal via donation. They promoted it. High-ticket upsell, 18K upsell to serious buyers that wanted that extra coaching. Viral amplification. The affiliates turned into promoters to even more promote the launch. The launch was a demonstration of the book itself, right? That's how he kind of made it in the event. He was like, look, this event is actual proof that this book works. Powerful psychology. Leverage scarcity, reciprocity, social status, everything, right? Obviously, it's Alex Hormozi. He can pull that off. So you might be asking yourself, how can you as a coach, creator, personal brand. What can you learn and actually implement from this? Well, obviously you can understand that an immense amount of time spent with you creates an immense amount of trust, and giving people the value upfront for free is what's going to get the buyers, right? If he just had like a 30-minute workshop, people wouldn't buy into it, right? It was 7 hours, it was a ton of value, and he did it twice, and that's what pushed a lot of people over the edge. Obviously, he had the whole marketing, the green people that were holding up the book and all of that, but ultimately, this right here, this 7-hour kind of block, this is what made the conversion, these videos. So if you want people to buy high ticket and buy fast, people need to get value and spend time with you. And Alex Hormozi knows that, and that's why he created this 7-hour event. So I hope you learned a ton from this. If you have any questions about it, comment, follow me on Instagram. It's going to be in the description if you want to learn how I work and how I grow coaching and consulting businesses to 20K months. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.